Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Everybody, happy Monday. It is the day that you all been waiting for. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today, we're talking about something that hits deep. Is beauty still the most profitable currency for Black women? From jobs to relationships, beauty has often opened doors, but it's also come with a pretty hefty cost. In a world that tells us our value is tied to how we look, especially as Black women, we need to ask, is the pressure to be pretty pushing us further from the true power and gaining wealth? So we're going to actually break it all down today. I have a wonderful royal court today. We have Marlo, Lacen, TV film producer, Tiara Williams, producer and actress, and Joe Corley, licensed therapist, mental wellness coach, and educator. Hello, my team. Listen, I'm going to just throw this question out there first because beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. But let's be very honest. In America, the beholder is usually white folk. And we always have to fit into their mold. So, Tiara, have you ever struggled with the idea of beauty in like a corporate setting or in you do TV, you do film, you're a vocalist. Do you ever feel that pressure in what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to put out an album in a couple of weeks, and I've been doing 2-a-days. I done got some skin cream. I've been doing some push-ups, like all the things, and looking at styles and things that I'm gonna wear, and all of it is an effort to be appealing. And it's just something that you have to do here and work in the industry. You just gotta I'm even thinking about the every Wednesday we have a meeting, and it's like we're bringing together different styles. It's like that's too natural, no natural hair. You got to do it's the influence is about how you look and how people will perceive you. So yeah.
Exactly. And then yet you still have a whole section of us, but they like to separate our beauty, like especially in the entertainment industry, like it used to be. I was looking at some old videos like from the 70s and 60s the other day, and it didn't matter if your teeth were crooked, if you were 50 years old, as long it was good music, people didn't care. And then all of a sudden video killed the radio star of the 80s, and you definitely saw the shift. So I'm going to take that same question that I asked you, Tiara, and I'm going to throw it to Marlo. Marlo, and you do production, you do film, and you say you like to do it behind the scenes, but do you see that a lot in your profession?
Absolutely. That's why I like to be behind the scenes, to not have the pressure. I'm hard enough on myself. I don't need a bunch of people who can't telling me what I should. I'm not built in that way, and I know that much about myself. So that is why when I got into film and television and all the options were open in college, you're in front of the camera, you're behind the camera, I realized that the place for me, not just because of that, but it was definitely a contributing factor. My skills lend themselves better behind the camera, but I feel bad because I have to judge people. I have to judge people based on what they look like. And in news, there's an added bonus because I judge people based on what they look like and their level of intelligence, which we've been told don't necessarily go together. So that's why I opted for
it's a crazy dynamic right there. I mean, because you get it from all sides. That's really, really interesting, but we know it's a big deal. So, Joe, listen, I still can throw this question to you because it also goes to our men. It's not just beauty, it's being handsome or feeling like you have to fit into the corporate box. So, do you have any experience with this in your career?
Yeah, I think that, beauty does open some doors that would otherwise be closed. You know what I mean? It pays to be handsome sometimes. I mean, I can't front on that, you know what I mean? And it all depends on like where your value lies and all of that, but I can't front, Lala. It helps.
It definitely helps. But and I don't think that that is a bad thing. I think that's just a part of being human because as a human, men and women are attracted to certain things in order to procreate. That's just a fact of life. Where I have the problem is trying to fit into someone else's mold in order to get a foot up to gain a better job or to gain a better role or to gain that's where I have the problem. So I'm asking you, audience family, I'm asking you, is this something that you have had to experience in your life where you felt like you weren't pretty enough, that you had to straighten your hair because it was a corporate job and they didn't want, an afro? I would love to hear your feedback on what we're talking about. But let's kick it off with this video because I think there's some really important points in here, and then we'll get back to the topic. Let's check this out.
Beauty is a tool, and it has the power to change your life. That's because beauty provides the same choice and opportunities as money. You can attract better career opportunities, better spouses and partners, all because of how much you pour into yourself. Because when people see that you pour into yourself, they are inclined to come pour into you. People want to help those who help themselves. That's essentially what it is. Unfortunately, this society and large portions of the world are still ran by vanity. The best is usually dispersed to the people who look the best or the people who can contribute the most. If you can't contribute much of anything, meaning if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of resources, your appearance can get you into places that large sums of money would usually get other people. If you are someone who is not privileged in the financial sense, I would approach beauty from a business perspective. Do not get caught up in vanity because that is how you get exploited, that's how you get used, and that's how you put yourself in dangerous situations. Once you actually understand how lucrative beauty is, you'll begin to incorporate it into your life naturally. It won't feel so much like a chore, but more like an opportunity to create a better situation for yourself, for your family.
Yeah, I got all sorts of mixed feelings about that, but I want us to think on that real quick while we take this short break and let that sink in, and we'll be right back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
We are all about that growth. Make sure that you go to the website and then make sure you sign up and text the word queen so that you can know when we go live every day. Listen, I want to dive back into this and I want to refer back to that video that we just watched. I think that this is my perception, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right, but my perception in this is that she was saying there is a difference between fitting in and a difference between getting caught up in yourself, which I consider vanity. So, do you think that the corporate world cares about either, or do you feel like they just want to fit you into that box? And I'm going to ask you that, Tiara, because hey, you're in LA. We know what LA is all about. So, what are your thoughts on her feeling vanity or fitting in? Is it the same thing?
It's not the same thing. Fitting in is when you feel like, okay, in order for me to be comfortable in this environment, I may have to just kind of go along to get along. Straight hair, especially if it's in like I said, a corporate environment, you want to go along to get along. You don't want to raise too much ruckus about if they're going to be complaining about your dreads or, the things that have come up, like you said earlier, an afro or whatever. But I think vanity obviously is like, to me, when I see a woman who goes and gets a VBL or gets like lip injections, I mean, no shade, but I think that's a form of vanity, right? Like when it just is, right? You're like, I don't know. I just kind of see it that way when you're going these extra extremes to do things that I guess it makes you feel good. So it's all good. But in terms of like just wanting to take care of yourself, I really don't see an issue with this. I do think that it's a thing, right? If your looks are in fact something that can take you further, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you pour into yourself if it's about making sure that you look the best way that you can for you, whatever that means. Like you find your look. I've been hearing people say lately, like you know what, you got cute, you found your look. I don't know what that means because I've been cute all my life, but like here's the thing, I get it because there's a like I get it. Like I think women, as they mature, they find their look, what makeup looks good with them, like what will get the most response or reaction. Because keep it real, like when you walk into a place and somebody thinks you're beautiful, they're gonna go, you. Sometimes I'm like, me, what, like, and you know what it's about. The blessing is that I have talent to go along with that. But for the people that don't have talent, maybe beauty is their talent. I heard Kanye West say that one time about Kim Kardashian. He was, people were fussing about her looks, and he was like, everybody can't be beautiful. Like that's a talent. So, I mean, it's really just how you perceive it.
It is, but I also want to tackle onto that. I understand absolutely everything that you're saying, but and for those of you who've never joined us before, I used to weigh 285 pounds. Okay, 285 pounds, damn near 300 pounds, and I didn't feel good about myself. It made me feel ugly to myself, and I didn't care what that felt like to other people. I just knew it was about me. But there was a day. There was a day that I was in the real estate office. I'm the more experienced agent. I'm the one who's busting my butt for you. And there's this young, skinny chick in there. We're both sitting across from each other. She had just been in real estate for 2 weeks. Not that that really matters because some people already had the experience, right? But the people who walked in gravitated right to her first. Okay? Me and my little 285-pound person right across the street from this girl, and they go to her. It is about people's perception, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're literally thinking to themselves, oh, I'm not going to go with that girl. It's just natural for them to go to the one that they feel is more attractive, and that's what this is. I think that's honest. Joe, I want to hear your thoughts on that story that I just told you. Is that something in our mental that we can overcome no matter what size we are or how we look? Or are we always going to have this pressure of feeling like we need to fit in to be beautiful?
It can be overcome. It's difficult. A lot of people don't take the time to do it, but it can be overcome. It has been overcome several times over. And listen, being beautiful comes with its own set of problems too. Those people sit across from me and struggle with those standards and that pressure to live up to that beauty standard for the remainder of their lives. It doesn't. It's not all sweet. You know what I mean? And also the perception that everything is all sweet for them is also a problem. It's always been a problem. So yeah, they both come with their own set of problems, but definitely 100%, you can find value in yourself that goes beyond your looks. If you're not happy with your looks, you can find something within yourself. Almost anybody can that you love, that you can admire, that you can hold up. So it's just about doing the work and understanding your value as a human over everything.
I agree with that. But we had to find that within ourselves. This little Lala had to find that within herself and really work through that. And when I started working through that, that's when it clicked in me about, hey, I really need to be healthy. And that is body, mind, and spirit. That's when it clicked. But it took a long time because I was so busy trying to fit into other people's molds. Listen, we had a really great comment from one of our viewers. Brandon says, pouring into yourself must include more than your appearance, though. It should be a multifaceted approach. Marlo, do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree, but I think we value and kind of impose our own ideas and feelings on people a little bit too much. I think that it's definitely important to be a well-rounded person. I always tell people I'm a citizen of the world, right? I will read anything, I will study anything. I'm interested in learning and experiencing anything for the first time. And I think that people feel like this is probably one of the pitfalls that Joe was talking about. When you are attractive, people want you to be one dimensional, right? People want you to be just pretty, just show up, right? The minute you are pretty plus, you doing too much, right? You pretty and you funny. You pretty and you can sing. You pretty and you like the minute you have the and with the pretty, it always becomes kind of problematic for the individual, because I think that people do just equate beauty and vanity, although they don't necessarily equal one another, right? So I think you can definitely invest in the way that you look. You can own whatever your look is of now. I've been through every phase. I had every hair color. It's been every length. It's been a weave. It's been mine. It's, like every phase of who I can be as a person, I've explored that. And I think people should do whatever makes them happy. Always do what makes you happy. And it means being well-rounded, but well-rounded to Brandon may not, that girl may be well-rounded, right? But those two well-roundeds may never meet because they're different. It's a big old world out there.
It is. And like we said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What one person thinks is beautiful, another person may not. It's just amazing to me how we also put these limitations on ourselves. But I do want to check out a few stats, because we're not just talking out of the air. We really have some stats to show you. According to the American Psychological Association, studies have shown that physical appearance plays a significant role in hiring decisions. In fact, attractive individuals are more likely to be hired, promoted, and paid more than their less attractive counterparts. According to Dove, which, yeah, I do love me some Dove. According to a Dove study, only 4% of Black women feel represented in mainstream beauty ads, which reflects the ongoing gap in how beauty standards affect Black women's self-perception and economic participation in the beauty industry. I want to stop right there because I do want to address this. We are definitely going through hell right now in the world, and it seems that the billionaires are running over the world. We all know most of the billionaires are certain culture and persuasion, and they are getting rid of many companies that have anything to do with any kind of diversity. So, Tiara, do you think that 4% number is going to change in a very quick time frame?
I'll say this. I hope not. It's so funny that is the case, because Black women are the most imitated women species on the planet, from the lips to the butt to the everything. Like they want that, and they adapt it, and then they kind of like throw away where they got the inspiration. It's so interesting to see. So I think regardless of if we're represented in that 4%, we're represented because they literally just take it from us, which it should be flattering, but it in this situation it's not. But yeah, I mean the answer to that is I don't know, but I know that we in there and we're influencing whether they want to accept that or not.
I agree. You are having some pushback from companies, but my thing is, why is it you always want to imitate us, but yet you want everything but the struggle? That's what I always say. You want everything but the struggle. And it's very interesting to me how they decide. And everybody knows what I mean when I say they, and we don't mean all. So don't come at us for that, because we clearly see the they is a certain part of the world and a mind thinking. But Joe, Black Men's Fair said something that was interesting. He said to men, once it's more beautiful women and multiple beautiful women, then now it's about her mind and spirit that always separates beauty and adds beauty to a particular woman. Do you see in a man's eye, because you are our man today, you the king today, we want to hear the man's thought about that. Is beauty even more to you when she has multiple things that are beauty, her mind or spirit? Does that change things for physical appearance?
Well, yeah. I mean, you asking me. Obviously, I feel that way. You know, I'm very excited and happy that my wife is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. That's a very good plus, you know. But also, all the other things that come along with being a woman, those are the things that keep a man. Like you see some really, really beautiful women, and they by themselves. They're by themselves because they have nothing else to offer other than that beauty. So you want more. You want all the other things that come along with being a woman, the ambition, you know, the kindness, all the other things that make her a special person and a good human. If you are a good human yourself and you desire that and it aligns with your values, so that will make her even more beautiful. Then, like, even as like, I mean, I live with my wife in her 20s, and obviously she's aged and all that other thing. But as she's aged, she just got more beautiful to me. Like, I'm more and more attracted to her than I was even when she was just a 20-year-old, pretty young thing. You know what I mean? So it evolves. It all evolves.
But she has to be. But the thing about men is men are visual, right, Joe? So a woman has to kind of show up a certain way, and sometimes I liken that to like not the best version of yourself, but if you're pouring into your physical appearance or your presentation, which is important, you can catch the eye of your potential partner or a good man because he's looking right. Initially he's just looking at your beauty before you get anything out of your mouth saying like I'm a good woman, or like you can't display that. Initially it's gonna be the looks that catch him, right?
Yeah, but let's be. I can't show up with holes in my drawers and my belly hanging all over my. I mean, she'll stay. She'll stay. I mean, because we made a commitment,
But
but
she won't like it.
she won't. Like, she visual too. I got to keep it tight and right. Also, you know what I mean? Yeah, it goes both ways. It's easy to say men are visual, but women are visual too.
For sure.
Very
For
true.
sure.
Very true, which it all goes back to being human, period. It does. The only problem is when we start incorporating this on how we going to build our wealth if someone doesn't see you in their eye as being pretty. We're going to take a break. We're going to dive right back into this. We'll be right back.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
And boy, do we have another class coming up for you. So just a teaser, we do have a class that is trauma in your transactions, and that will be taught by Felice. Is it Felice or Felicia? I'm sorry, Miss Black Hollywood.
Oh, it's Felice. Felice.
All right. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, you don't want to miss that out. So please make sure that you go and do that. Felice Hightower. And that is going to be your trauma is in your transactions. Look at that, y'all. That is this week, this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sign up today. Now, listen, I do want to watch another video, but then Marlo, I got a very special question for you when we come back. Let's hit this next video and see what else they say about beauty.
And have you noticed, the standard for black women to be well kept is higher for any other type of woman? Oh my God. It's like to be deemed as a good looking black woman, you have to be 10 out of 10, 7 days a week, 24/7. And we are not given the grace, not that we need to be given it, but we don't have a relaxed, casual look where we're still rated 10 out of 10.
No.
You have to be looking red carpet ready all the time. And that's because a lot of people treat black women as something that you have to be in awe with.
Yeah.
Marlo, I want to ask you that question. I mean, I thought she presented that very well. I think that she actually kind of hit it right on the head. So basically, do you agree or disagree with her?
I think that the standard is high. But I don't know if that's our own self-imposed standard, right? I remember my mom telling me stories about, back in the 60s and when times were still segregated and they would go on Canal Street. That's the shopping strip in New Orleans, right? They would be decked out in their Sunday's best, right? They wouldn't have had their children out looking uber casual like they were just playing outside when they would bring them shopping, because that's where these white women were. So I don't know if some of that is handed down trauma from olden days when we had to always be pulled together. No, you can't look like what you're going through. Some days I gotta look like it. Some days I gotta look like I'm overwhelmed because I need to keep pushing through whatever it has me looking that way. And I know I could always wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I was busted and look like I couldn't be trusted. So today I got to yank it and snatch it and pull it all the way together so that I can just feel like myself. But I think that we do have a high standard, but I don't know that society imposes it on us as much as that is a self-inflicted wound that we just keep dealing to ourselves. But look, some days I don't put on no lip gloss. And some days I got foundation and contour. Like, give me a break. It's fine.
Baby, the days I feel the most okay is when, like, my mother instilled certain things in me. I think even as we grow up, our parents have a huge influence on what we consider beauty. My mother was hardcore dead set that you never left the house without some color on your lips, and especially me, little bit light bright. She's like, no, baby, you can't go out looking like a ghost. You got to put something on them lips, and then I had another auntie who was like, forget the lips, do something on your eyes. It's all what other people are telling you to do. And then we're taught these things and then they end up sticking to your head. I'm 55 years old. I still don't like to leave out of this house with some kind of color on my lips, even if it's a tinted gloss. So listen, Joe, I have to ask you this because this can lead to mental issues too. Do you think that the pressure to conform to beauty standards affects our Black community, especially our women's mental health?
Obviously, right? That yeah, it's a no-brainer, right? Even the pressures that come from within the community. You know what I mean? When colorism isn't new, like that's a real thing that's been going on in our community for a long, long time. I almost want to say centuries, but you know what I mean? So it's definitely affecting our mental health. The pressure and the to maintain a beauty standard throughout. What happens when you age out of your value? You know, as a teacher, I used to see students all the time, and I would see a pretty young girl, and I'd say, "Boy, I sure hope she figures out her value beyond what she looks like, because if she doesn't, she's going to be held to that standard of being beautiful forever, and she's going to feel the pressure, especially in today's world. Like, we setting these beauty standards, and the younger generation are picking them up, and now they're online and they're trying to keep up. And I'm watching in real time how these girls are falling apart. These young girls are falling apart, trying to keep up with everyone else. As you look now, like back in the day, you'd be lucky. I'm saying lucky from a male perspective if you saw any part of skin on a girl. Now they put it out there, so I mean you could see it. You could see it all. It's really something else. So, and that's all pressure. You know, I don't. You know, that's all pressure. I've watched people in my own family break down crying because of a post collapsing. The pressure is immense. And Tierra got a young daughter. She can speak to that in the business.
Wow. I mean, that I remember so clearly wanting to fit in growing up. I mean, I was the light bright. That's a running joke in my family, is the light bright. And all of my friends were beautiful cocoa colored skin, beautiful honey skin. I had a beautiful dark chocolate friend, and I always wanted to be them. So it was never I wanted to tap into my own. It was always me wanting to look like them. And even though people were telling me at the time, well, you're pretty, you're like you are, I never felt that. So I still feel like the societal pressures are very hard, because my mom didn't even know what to do with my hair. My hair is naturally curly, so she would straighten it because that's all she knew to do. She couldn't deal with the curls. So there's so much that goes into this. It's not just general society or corporate America. It's within our own self. So Tierra, you do have a young daughter, and she's, to me, I think she's just as gorgeous and as cute as she could be. How do you help to instill in her the confidence in her beauty?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure because my mic did a thing. Having a 14-year-old has been, or a young girl growing up in a social media age where there's BBLs and lashes and lace fronts, and girls are coming to school in middle school in lace front wigs and all of that. I do a little, it's not manipulation, but I make sure that in conversation, it's very casual. I'll say something like, man, we were at Six Flags one day. I said, man, that girl is so pretty. She would be so beautiful without like all those lashes and lace fronts, huh, Lauren? And like she kind of looked and was like, yeah. And so like a couple months later, we were somewhere and we saw a girl and she was like, Mom, she would be so pretty without all that stuff. Right? Like the beauty.
Uh-oh. I think we lost her.
Pay your bills, everybody. Pay your
Yeah.
Pay your Wi-Fi.
While we're waiting for her to come back, I do want to share some stats with her, with everyone. We have a couple more that I do want to hit, because I think it's really important when she comes back that we tap into how we are instilling in our children beauty in itself. So according to the stats here, research from the Journal of Applied Psychology has shown that Black women are more likely to face discrimination based on appearance in professional settings, especially when they defy mainstream beauty standards, such as wearing natural hair. And for years, guys, we also know that in the military, women had to conform to white standards when it came to their hair as well. So it's not just mainstream beauty. I mean, even in the military, it was different. Beauty and the Black women, a psychological and sociological exploitation found that Black women are often subject to unique beauty standards, which include pressure to have straight hair, lighter skin, and certain body types influenced by mainstream beauty ideals. Wow, this is pretty serious, and this is things that we have to deal with every single day. Marlo, how do you think, how much, let me phrase this right, how much does appearance impact the way Black women are treated by society compared to their skills and their intellect?
Well, I think more than just skills and intellect, it's just your everyday interaction, right? I know on the days that I might trot outside and I'm not looking my best, I'm looking a little mid. On those days, my service is different. Like the interaction that I get from people is different, right? I noticed it. And it's very different on the days when I'm about average. And then the days when I'm all the way up, like I feel a difference in the way that I'm treated by people. So it definitely is real. In terms of work, I think that when you are attractive, I started in TV doing mostly grunt work. I was a grip, I was a camera assistant, I was doing like lifting and stuff like that. And so it actually was a disadvantage for you to be coming in there all cute because you get written off, right? So I got to reserve my cute for times outside work when we would hang and get together, or when I started producing, I could come in cute because that job requires something different. So I think it just depends on what you're trying to do, because sometimes showing up all the way nine can be a barrier to entry if people feel like you're not going to be able to perform this labor because you're too cute. So you have to always make a value judgment depending on the space that you're entering. Sometimes you need to be 9, 10 just so you could get the attention out the door. But you gotta gauge every situation differently. And you're gonna have a different outcome if you go in there busted looking like you can't be trusted. Joe, no.
Joe, no.
Joe,
Joe,
no.
no.
Sick of you. I'm so sick of you.
But listen to, but Marlo, you're very right about that. But listen, every day is like every day you're so stressed about that. What am I going to be doing today? How am I supposed to look? It's like a 24-hour thing. I mean, there are just days I just want to go outside and be me. And if that just means, no kind of lip gloss, since my mother told me I should have it, then I would like to do that. But I have to be honest, in the back of my head, I hear my mom, put that lipstick on, girl. So it's so interesting, but we do have to be chameleons, especially in the Black community. We've talked about code switching and things of that nature too, just to get the job and get the bag. Sometimes we have to do that. And that is, to me, a sad situation, because I don't see that changing anytime soon. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Baby, I'm looking for you. I am looking for you. Round these parts on Friday, we have blackout. And I may need you on a Friday. I may need you all week, because that's what Lala is doing, blackout every day. She's looking for Black companies. So make sure that you get your business in the directory today. Now, listen, I kind of want to go back to you, Tierra, because it's important that we talk about how we're dealing with our young girls. Black Man is Fair says young girls are trying to get BBLs and compete with the other girls for the boys' attention, and also to be that chick in school as well. Boys go through the same thing. Thank God the health wave and gym era is here. Are you seeing that with the kids? Are they trying to compete with what they're seeing the beauty standard is, and the BBLs and the lip injections? And I got to throw out Kyle Jenner in there.
Yes. I mean, they're looking at the internet. This is the internet generation, right? So they're looking at what's not real online and trying to make it real in real life. And I think that, first of all, living in California and seeing all these lip injections and BBLs and all of that, it just looks crazy, right? So it just looks crazy to me. So what I've made sure that I do with my young daughter is I plant seeds. Like I was just about to say, I plant seeds every time there's an opportunity to do so. We also try to instill and give her things that uh, put her in put her in activities that'll give her self-esteem, that'll give her sense of purpose, sense of self. That coupled with she's funny, she's like her mom, right? So she's funny. I'm always looking and saying, man, you should do this, Lauren, because and she just really start seeing her beauty just this year, which is so funny because I saw my beauty in 8th grade, right? The same. She's in 8th grade now, going to ninth. And I think in 8th grade, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. But Lauren, listen, this girl be in a mirror. I'd be like, you're so pretty. She'd be like, I know. Like I just can't. But I'm okay. I would rather her have that than not have that. I would rather her look at herself and be like, without all the aesthetics of like she loves her natural hair. She likes like certain things she just likes to see. She'd be like, yes, yes. Like I'm like, you gonna get out the mirror. She was like, why would I? Like I want her to feel herself like that. I need that. I need that because the world she's gonna go out into this world and it's gonna tell her that she's not beautiful, that she should change things about her. And so along with planting seeds every day, telling her she's beautiful every day, the things that I don't know if I received as a kid. Like I don't think our families were thinking like I really have to pour into this child as much as we think about it now. It's different because we like, man, any chance I get to pour into her self-esteem, I do it, especially as her mother.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that is a huge part of our job, to encourage our children and let them see everything that is beautiful about them, whether it's their intelligence, whether it's their looks, whether it's whatever. We need to sow into our children. I am going to share with you all now. I mean, several of you have said that you started noticing your beauty in 8th grade, 9th grade. Lala was 30 years old before she embraced any part of what she looked like. And felt that I was a good person, felt that I was a good human, but beauty, didn't see it within myself. But we have another video, and I want us to check this out so we can continue the conversation.
I love watching hot people just, exist. Like, y'all's only job is being hot. Y'all have no discernible skill set or anything. And like you've taken pretty privilege and you're using it. And you know what? I respect the fuck out of it. I love watching y'all amass 100,000 followers overnight for doing your little TikTok dances and not really saying anything. Your little lip syncs, like, baby, go into acting. That's what it is. And I feel like this sounds jealous, but like this is not coming from a place of jealousy. It's coming from a place of intrigue. I am thoroughly impressed. Like, you literally do nothing but just look at the camera and like, da-da-da-da-da, call me red-handed, do your little thrust, like show your little schmeat to the world, and all of a sudden, boom, like 100,000 followers. What's that like? What does it feel like knowing that all you have to do is find some good lighting, smile a little bit, and boom? Explain that to me, because I'd like to know.
Tierra
So
can tell
you
you I have
talking
pondered
about
that.
social media. What'd you say, Marlo?
I said I have pondered that. I'm so glad I found a fellow. We not haters. We just wondering because I don't. It might be a little jelly because I'm not gonna spend that amount of time editing and shooting the video and getting the angles just right and the edits and the clips. But what y'all doing? Like, I just go ahead and get the money. I like it. I wish I wasn't. I wish the spirit of pretty laziness wasn't upon me, because I'll go ahead and get them 100,000 followers too.
Let me tell you, being a baddie is exhausting. I went on a trip with some girls and they was like Instagram baddies. First of all, I'm just too old for all of this. But like, I was just like, okay, there's something I could take from this young ladies. But the amount of time that it was like about this, or like, okay, get a picture. Oh my God. Oh my God. You are
Every
stunning.
moment.
Every moment. It was like, I can't do this. Like, this is a lot. right? So it's just exhausting to be a baddie. It's like, yeah, I could put on a little bit of makeup and some lipstick and still kind of show it to the party and be pretty or whatever. But I don't want that. Like, I don't want to wake up 3 hours before I'm supposed to do my hair and makeup and everything is a photo shoot. I just can't do it. I just want to roll out of bed. Like, man, I don't know. It's a job. And I think that's it. Like, he said something, and I'm sorry, Lala. But he said something. He said, I wonder what it's like to do this thing. But those girls work for that. They really, really, really do. They have to master the skill of being pretty. Again, I was talking about Kim Kardashian earlier. I think she's just mastered that skill of like getting up and just knowing what works for her and doing it every single day for hours on end, going and getting the lip injections and the butt and the things that's going to make, they invest in that. So it's not for nothing. That's their investment.
I can tell you firsthand, and someone said, Black Man is Fair says, living for the camera. When I was the community manager for a live streaming program, those girls knew that their beauty and their bodies showing just enough was going to get them the lifestyle that they wanted. They truly were living for the camera. I do mean waking up first thing in the morning, having their little bonnets on. Good morning, everybody. I just woke up. I'm going to have my mangoes, and then I may show you how I do my makeup later. And hey, why don't you just throw me a gift right now? Throw me a banana. Maybe I'll have a banana for breakfast. Like living for the freaking camera. And I can't do that. As much as I love broadcasting, as much as I love all of that, I cannot roll out of the bed and be ready instantly. That's way too much pressure for me. Now, Joe, we're talking mostly about females, but I want you to convert this into what men and young men are seeing about this and how they're adjusting or viewing this.
It's the same. I believe at this point it's becoming to be the same amount of pressure. Maybe not the same, but somewhere close, right? They have to keep up with beauty standards as well, and also performance standards on top of that. So you have to be able to perform. You got to have a knot. When I say knot, I mean money. You got to have good looks. You got to have all the things, right clothes. Everything got to be intact because that's what you see online. I felt it away when I was a kid. Like I didn't really figure out that I was maybe a little handsome. I still say a little. I never felt like I was hot, but a little handsome, like in 10th grade. But in 9th grade, I wore glasses up until 9th grade, big Coke bottle glasses, right? And I took them off one day, and I wore my contacts to school. And somebody said, "Ooh, Joseph." I said, "Say what now?"
Ooh, Joseph.
Never wore glasses again. Never wore glasses again. And then in the next year, I kind of figured out, okay, but even still, the pressure was immense. Like, because you have to. This is the 90s, you know what I mean? So you got to be wearing the right clothes, you got to be wearing the right shoes, or you were a bum. And I feel like that's the same thing for guys today. Not as bad. I think you can go out in slides and a old T-shirt, and your hair ain't got to be combed and all of those things. Still get it done, but you still got to have some performance. And I watch my nephew, who is 22 right now, handsome as I don't know what. I just enjoy watching him in public. I would literally set him out like 5 feet in front of me and just watch women and females react to him, and it's a show. It's a show. So
you don't need no Netflix.
No Netflix, man. It's a show, man. It's a show. I watch it. I watch them react to him, and I'm like, a part of me, the little 10th grade or 16, 17-year-old me say, man, I wish I had that when I was, his age, because it's different. I still feel a little bit of that, some of that envy a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Vibe, our beautiful Dr. Vibe said, yes, Joseph. I absolutely love it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Felice Hightower Brett. and I'm a licensed clinical mental health therapist and the Be Big coach. I'm also partnering with Fly Nubian Money to host a powerful and transformational workshop titled Your Trauma is in Your Transactions. This isn't your average money talk, ladies. We're going deeper. So many Black women are struggling with their finances and their relationship with money, not because we're bad with it, but because of the trauma from our past, generational patterns, survival mindsets, and simple shame that we've carried for years. Aren't you tired of the paycheck to paycheck saga? I hope so. Since it's time to stop surviving and start thriving. And it all begins this Saturday, April 19th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Start healing financially, emotionally, and mentally. I can't wait to see you there.
I got goosebumps because we are tied to a lot of trauma with our finances, guys. This is going to be an absolutely fabulous training. You don't want to miss out. Your trauma is in your transactions. Felice Hightower Britt, this Saturday, April 19th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sign up now. FlyNubianMoneyClub.com. Listen, guys, we don't play around here. We talk about everything that has to do with our community and how we are perceived in the world, how we can up our game, and this includes beauty. We laugh about it. We say a lot of things right now that we giggle about, but we've all felt it. We all have felt it in some kind of way. So I want you to check out the last video, and then we're going to head into our final thoughts. And guys, please continue to talk to us. Is there a time where you felt like your looks have blocked you or helped get you a job or an opportunity that you really wanted? I would love to hear our viewership family's comments on that. So let's check out this video and we'll be back.
So people on TikTok have been saying there are no downsides to pretty privilege. Let me add a different perspective to the conversation. The benefits of pretty privilege create the downsides to pretty privilege. Anytime a person has attractive qualities, there are going to be people that are attracted to them, but there will also be people that are jealous or threatened by those benefits. That creates a situation where those people are also being treated negatively. But because most people don't have those benefits, we see it from the perspective of the grass is always greener. You don't know what it's like to be targeted by a group of people because one person in the group is threatened by you. You don't know what it's like for people to bother you just because they feel like you're attractive and therefore you need to be humbled. You don't know what it's like to have a person trash talk you in front of someone just because they have a crush on that person and they don't want that person to have a crush on you. And they experience these downsides because people are aware of the benefits of their attractiveness. To even say that there are no downsides is a downside in itself. It's just like saying there are no downsides to being born into a family with money. But there is a downside to the kid that's being neglected because all his parents care about is money. And every time they try to talk about it with someone, people go, your life is perfect. You have nothing to complain about. You have money. There's privilege that can come from that money, but there are also downsides that can come from the same benefit. That is what you sound like when you say there are no downsides to pretty privilege. You don't know what someone's circumstances are or who they are surrounded by. The grass is always greener.
He said so much in that, and this is why I want to use that video to launch into our final thoughts. And when you do give your final thoughts, please also let us know where we can find you as well. Joe, I'm actually going to start with you today. What are your final thoughts, and where can we find you?
Listen, I would say that he's right. There are some downsides to pretty privilege. You're often seen and not always heard. You sexualize all the time. You're assumed to have to be shallow or lack substance. And there comes jealousy and the isolation that comes with being a pretty person. So it's not all sweet. So I would say to anyone who is banking or living on a pretty privilege, go back to that comment we had earlier about it has to be multifaceted. I want you to keep pouring into yourself, because if you wrap your identity in one thing, when that one thing is taken away, trust me, I know, had my identity wrapped in who I was as a coach, teaching a coach, a teacher and a coach, and when it got taken away, I lost my identity and fell deep into a depression. So you should never wrap your identity in one thing. And you can find me at realuconsulting.com. Also, come join us on Tuesday nights on Vulnerability is the New Sexy. There's the YouTube page right there. And then I want everybody to tune in to not tune in, but register for Sacred Conversations, especially if you are in a relationship. Me and Felice are going to be doing it on the 23rd and the 30th. It's just basically an opportunity for us to learn how to speak to each other without defensiveness and speak from your heart, not from hurt, and build emotional safety inside of your relationships through conversation. I mean, we're going to be providing actual tools. It's not just talking at you and giving you lip service. It's real tools that can help couples stay together in a real way. So I want y'all to take an opportunity to get in there and do this work with us.
Is there a link in the? Do you have a link, and can you share it in the comment section
I will do
for
that.
people that want to register?
I will do that immediately.
Don't miss
Register,
out on
y'all.
that. Yep, make sure that you register, because guess what? We all have something that we can work on, and why not better yourself? That is a part of loving yourself, self-care, and a part of your beauty. Marlo, what is your final thoughts, and where can we find you?
So my final thought is, obviously, if you are attractive, if you were lucky enough to be born attractive, congratulations. Right? It is really just luck. For people that have to work at being more attractive, or who have to work at being attractive, that's okay too. Like Joe said, you're not the sum of one part of your person or personality. You're a multifaceted being. It's more important to be the light on the inside, because it will magnify beauty on the outside if you are shining light from within. And just think about how you are transmitting messages. I think one thing we didn't get to explore today was the generational information that we get and we pass on from one generation to the next. My mom was staunchly anti-makeup. I wear makeup. My daughter is a makeup artist who only seldom wears makeup. But had I passed down that hatred of makeup, who knows what that artisticness that came through my daughter through doing makeup, if it would have even manifested itself. So think about the generational messages that you're sent. Think about what society is saying to you and block it out. Emit light and love from within, and people will see your natural beauty, especially if you're well-rounded. And once you open your mouth, you have lots of great things to say, insights to offer, and information to share. I love y'all. If you're looking for me, you can, my website is there, the Marlo Group. We specialize in helping you develop alignment across your website, across your social media, so that your brand voice can be amplified. People can find you. We make it easier using keywords and keyword search options, but there's also other little tricks and tips that we can give you. So reach out if you're interested, themarlogroup.com.
And it feels good to be seen. You ain't doing all this work for nothing. So make sure that you hit up Marlo at themarlogroup.com so that she can help you up your SEO game. And I love that advice. I love that advice. Okay, Miss Tiara, what is your final thoughts, and where can we find you? Can hear you.
Oh, I'm going to go in a different direction on this. I'm going to say that obviously we live in an environment where presentation and looks matter. So play that game, right? If you have something, whatever it is that you have, we all have something that's beautiful about us. Play up that, like really invest in that. If it's you got beautiful eyes, figure out a way to make your eyes the best eyes. So when people see you, they go, oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful. Or if it's your lips or whatever it is, obviously be a pretty person on the inside. But I do believe in taking those things that are attractive and enhancing them even more. It's so funny. Joe said earlier that he wish he had that thing that his nephew has. And I dare to say he does have that. I dare to say that if he kind of changed his perspective around it and kind of like moved in a different way, then like the type of attention that he may want or not want. I'm just saying it's in him, right? Because he already has like the aesthetics of it. So, I'm just gonna say that, just like whatever it is that you have, just enhance that and play the game, get the attention, sell the products, do the business. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, that's the cards that we've been given. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood. I guess the only thing I'm asking y'all to do today is register for the Fly Nubian Money Club training this weekend. Obviously, you've heard that Felice Britt is coming and she is going to shut it down. I thought that this conversation, trauma in your transactions, was important. Obviously, I'm producing this thing, but it's so important because we're spending money, and I don't think we know or we're mindful of how those things are linked. Our traumas and what we experience are keeping us from generational wealth. So hit me up. I'm at Miss Black Hollywood across all social media platforms.
Absolutely love it. Now, Tiara means it when she says she's here to save you. She likes to uplift us all, and she is the reason and the force behind Fly Nubian Money. And you want to make sure that you get in Fly Nubian Money Club so that you can up your game as well. Okay. So listen, here's my final thoughts. I had a little bit of trauma go on with that last video because I am a witness to someone's jealousy as we were growing up. I lived in a really small town. I lived in a tiny little country town, and I didn't have very many friends, especially female friends. Mostly my cousins were there and they were male. So I had one female friend that I was able to hang out with. But as I look back on it, and I was warned as a child to be careful of her, I noticed that she would put me in dangerous and precarious situations every time she had the opportunity. And I didn't see it. I just saw her as a friend. But in hindsight, it makes me shiver that I didn't have many more horrible things happen to me because of her and how she wanted to put me in positions of danger. So we must also check ourselves. Check yourself. Check your own jealousy. Your jealousy is a reflection of you. You need to turn around and look within yourself on why you want to treat someone differently because of how they look, how they walk, where they're from, how they talk. That's a problem within you. And then I highly suggest that you make an appointment with Joe. So I have a beautiful free thing for you on my website, and you also can sign up for my newsletter if you're thinking about moving abroad. Beauty is within you, and that's body, mind, and spirit. If you're not happy living in America, guess what? You can live anywhere in the world and be a world citizen. Check out that quiz and sign up for my newsletter at www.laurakey.net. Now, listen, we really dug into this today, and I know that we can continue to go on. Thank you for everyone who has been here and made a comment. We love you. Like, we don't play about that. We love you. It wouldn't be a show if you didn't show up. And many of you show up every single day, and we appreciate you. But that's it for today's episode of Fly Nubian Money. Now, we've had a very powerful conversation about beauty as currency for Black women and men, and how the pressure to fit into society narrows our beauty standards, and that can impact us in many ways. And we might not even really realize how many ways it does impact us. We hope this conversation challenges the way you think about beauty, self-worth, and success. Remember, you are beautiful just as you are, and your value goes far beyond your looks. Thank you to all of our panelists for being here and sharing your insights. Sometimes we share things that are pretty vulnerable, and we hope that that helps you who come and watch as well. And thank you, family, for tuning in. Stay tuned for next week's episode or tomorrow's episode, because we're here Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And keep investing in yourself because you are worth it. Until tomorrow, we'll see you. Peace out.